Hello and welcome, everybody, to the Extraordinary Gentleman. Today we have the return of the king.
Return of the king?
Dr. Whiskey himself. Dylan, whatever your middle name, Thompson.
Edward.
Where did you guys find this guy?
You know...
We replaced you.
Yeah, we replaced you last episode, literally, with this guy. He seems to be exactly the same, if not better in every way.
I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well...
You guys already replaced
You didn't give us a 2 weeks notice, so we had to fill in.
How did you guys break into my house and get all my equipment?
It was pretty easy, actually.
Well, yeah.
Your security is very
Yeah,
lackluster.
your dog actually unlocked the door for us and let us in.
Yeah, he's kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that I think I'm a welcome addition. You guys were really missing an alcoholic in the group.
Ouch.
Oh.
It's quite the self-detrimental claim. Do you really think you're an alcoholic, Dawson?
No.
That's what I thought.
I don't think any of us.
Bad boy.
No. Well, so it's good to be back.
Wow.
And where are you back from?
Essentially the USA.
The what?
Oh, my goodness.
I was an extensive trip through all of the West United States.
Mm-hmm. But you said the USA. That means the whole thing. You lied.
It's true. It's true. Well, so in this episode, I mean, we're going to kind of talk about, if you guys want, kind of where I was, what all occurred, some trip in my sip, if you would.
You mean sip in your
Wow.
trip?
Maybe.
Got some trip in my sip.
That was
That's like you dropped some Molly in your drink.
That was rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to hear what you did.
All right. Cool. So, story time. Sit down. You guys are sitting, so that's good.
We need to put in a story time jingle. You know, like before a grandma tells a story, she rings a bell or something, or at the daycare when.
Sit the heck down. You're going to hear a story and you're going to like it.
Shut up, Grandma. Drink a pro juice.
Story time. Take one.
That's close enough.
No, you need the the more you know music going across.
Bum, bum.
We don't have the budget
rights to
for
that.
a soundboard of
rights,
that
yeah.
quality. So, yeah. So we left June. We went camping to Confess with Nick, who's been on the podcast before, and my youngest brother, who has not, and my dad, and we went camping. Mainly in the great state of Washington, and took some whiskeys with us. Mm-hmm. You know, we kind of talked about. We had a camping episode where we talked about what whiskeys we
the ones we
prefer.
like to bring. Yep.
And there you can guarantee.
What?
Wow.
That's what we guarantee.
Gardon.
Did you see the White House?
Yep. It
Was it many White Houses?
Was it big and white?
many
Lot
White
of them.
Houses.
Did you see the Washington Monument?
Yeah, in the great state of Washington.
Was it pointy?
Was it pointy? I don't know where to go from there. It's just
Just continue.
not.
Yeah. So you were
left.
at Washington.
You left. You went to Washington. What happened in Washington? The great state.
So we stopped in Montana. Mm-hmm. Well, I should say I didn't finish.
All right, backtrack. Sorry.
You can guarantee that I brought Lagavulin 16.
Oh yeah.
So Lagavulin 16 was there.
Yep.
And now we'll pick up where we went.
I think
Can
you
I-
know
can I-
that if you followed the Instagram.
Yeah.
You were
Well-
posting pictures of it, weren't you?
A little bit. I don't think I posted locations. I didn't
Yeah.
post locations. Yeah. But we hoped that we would have gone to Westland and Seattle, but we camped a little bit in Montana. There was no fire bans everywhere. Mm-hmm. And get this lamp out of it. There we go.
Lamp.
I can kind of see Zach.
I love lamp.
We wish you went to Westland.
fire
Seattle.
band.
Yeah, so I mean, we went kind of by Spokane. There's a
Spokane.
not
Spokane.
I feel like we'll get drilled if people like comment on this or in reviews. They'll be like, they pronounced Spokane incorrectly. Nix them. They're done.
Spokane.
This
People
cancel.
listen to this?
No.
Absolutely.
It's like 5
Have
people.
some faith.
Actually, yes.
I have faith.
The Carter said that someone told him that they listened to our
really?
podcast.
One
and
episode.
And he didn't tell him to watch it. They just found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There you go.
I don't know how that happened.
I wonder what the search engine was.
Is this somebody that
Yep.
you're embarrassed that found it?
No.
no, he
It was just
Whoever
a
was-
friend of mine from Wisconsin. He texted me and he was like, "Dude, I didn't know you had a podcast." And I was like,
What?
"Yeah, how did you even know about that?"
He's like, I
He,
didn't
he
know I was
was,
in one.
he was
Instagram.
definitely typing in gentleman something else, and then
Broncos.
extra-
Gentleman Bronco.
yeah, yep, definitely that.
Oh.
Because when you type in gentleman, your guys is like the third
Yeah,
to
because
pop up.
because
If
his
that,
wife wouldn't be
probably.
pissed at
Not
him.
even. Sorry. All right, continue the story. This is a story.
No, that's
episode.
fine. Yeah, no. I was very excited when I called you up during the trip though, and you guys were recording.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely happy to come home and listen to and edit the episode that you guys started that will
Episode
be
hurt my soul.
Sweet hot sass.
that will be posted Wednesday. Wow. So I mean, yeah, we've been posting on regularly on Wednesdays since I left. So I finished all the episode editing and stuff, and got it scheduled.
Humble brag.
Humble brag, yeah, for me.
We're caught up. Humble brag.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because we started posting back May, March. When was it?
I don't remember. when
March.
we made
We'll
the-
say March.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had been recording since I think February 2020.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, and we just backlogged everything essentially, and posted some stuff on YouTube, but finally started regularly getting on Spotify and other media's outlets and stuff. So that was really nice to get an actual routine down and it posted and stuff, so there's actually content. But
Do it for the content.
content.
Will you ever post the lost episodes?
No, those are
Maybe,
bad.
Pretty
one.
much every episode I've ever been on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's
It's you, Dustin.
It's you. It's
me.
It was all your fault.
We talk about Alex too.
Definitely.
I'm
All the
just
episodes
raising
Alex
the-
had ever been on.
I'm raising the podcast to too high of a
Yeah,
level.
the
You guys are
quality.
like, it's whiskey.
chill out, boy.
So, yeah, no, I guess to answer that, probably one day there'll probably be a circumstance. Maybe a lot of them, 80%. There may be one or two that are actually listenable.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are audio
problems.
and that's why they hadn't been posted.
Right.
Yeah, it's not even the content.
Okay, well, a
problem,
couple of them
it's
we just used a
audio.
single microphone in the middle of the table. That was a low quality.
Was
Oh, I
USB
forgot.
mic.
I wasn't even thinking about those, but
did
you're
that?
completely right.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Well-
Only like 2 episodes. There's one night.
Yeah. Well, those were the first ones that Alex and Zach and I were on, the first 2, because then you were on the third one, but then we scrapped that because
Didn't flow.
we
or
were
something, or-
recording
It was bad.
non-multi-track.
Oh yeah, that's what
And
it was.
uneditable.
Your mic was peaking.
Trash.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
trash.
because I was like, ooh.
yeah. So we had to scrap that one, but the first 2 were just very quiet because it wasn't amplified or something like that. But yeah, I was thinking about the ones that we completely didn't post at all to YouTube.
Yeah.
You can still go on YouTube and find
a couple episodes that aren't on Spotify.
like the first 6.
Yeah.
Like when COVID started really, really getting bad, and then we were social distancing and we were using Discord and our USB microphones.
Yeah.
And those are
That was
just
rough.
bad.
That was
you
rough.
know. I mean, it's
Yeah, this video is not sponsored by Corsair for their Corsair Void headphones and mic combos.
Hey, even then,
and we weren't even doing whiskey or really actually knew what we wanted to do at that point. So
not
it was
really.
it was kind of like we were doing we had one episode where we talked an hour about Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And it was just me
Oh,
listening.
that
we
was
should, we should
great.
still do that.
I
So, Zach, you
I
wanna
would
talk about
sit here and
Dragon Ball?
make fun of
Absolutely,
Dragon Ball for
yeah.
an hour.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would
So-
love to.
So did you hear about the new
Please.
Dragon Ball movie coming out?
Actually, I didn't.
Yeah, it's
Is
gonna
it?
be
For
Dragon
real?
Ball Superheroes.
Awesome.
Dragon Ball? It's called Dragon Ball Superheroes.
Yeah, it's a new Dragon Ball movie.
Is it going to be based off the show, or is it going to be its own thing?
I think it's gonna be its own thing.
I'm just waiting for Bulma to go Super Saiyan.
Bulma's
That's
can't
all I've,
go
that's
Super
all I've
Saiyan.
ever wanted.
I mean,
was
I
Bulma.
guess-
I mean, why not? You know.
So your trip.
I guess I don't care if we sidetrack it all, but we should probably get to the point where we actually pour whiskey.
Give
and
me
not
booze.
sidetrack.
All
Yeah,
right, all
booze.
right.
So-
Get to the first distillery.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So,
I need my social lubricant.
social
Well,
lubricant.
where were you when you got to the first?
Well, so we
distillery?
went camping. Place called Bethel Ridge. You can see Mount Rainier. Beautiful, great. I think I posted a picture of it on Instagram with me holding a beer of Rainier, and sponsored and brewed in Colorado of all places. So it's not native at all, but it's funny. But it's pretty good. It's like the hams of the West, essentially Northwest.
I like it a little bit more than hams, but
It's on
that's-
par.
It's on that level.
Yeah, it's on that level.
Well, Bud Light.
We just don't like them. They don't know what a pint is.
I tried. I looked
In
for that, and I
Colorado?
No,
didn't
it's
see it
just-
on the can anymore. So I'm
Really?
not sure
If that
if
might
it was
have
a
been
bigger
problem.
size
Yeah.
or what.
Just okay, quickly. The Rainier beer, the pint size. It's a pint
Is it
is
12 ounces?
it's 16. It's 2
I know.
cups.
Traditionally, it's 16.
Traditionally,
Yeah,
it's
2
16,
cups.
but did they?
Theirs was a 12-ounce can.
Oof.
Or no,
it was
sorry,
18.
20. No, it was 18 to 20. It was a weird.
Well, because there's an
number.
imperial pint that's 18,
Right.
and this one was bigger than the imperial
Yeah,
pint.
I think it was 20 ounces. I think it was a 20-ounce can. They called it 1 pint, and it didn't fit either definition.
it didn't make sense.
That doesn't
So-
make sense at all.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, sidetrack.
Keep going.
So then after that, we went Seattle, took the ferry. Westland was closed because it was the 5th of July. Our fault, not looking. Traveled across, got a brewery called Bainbridge. Might be pronouncing that wrong too. I'm not sure, but really good. What's that? What is that called? What did you just have earlier before this?
Cider?
Cider. It was a cider aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brewery. They also have a distillery.
It's a brewstillery.
Yeah, so I think they're using their ex-bourbon barrels, aging some of that ale in it. I'm not sure how long, but it was pretty good. Not a huge ale guy, but I appreciated that. And then I got like a porter, something. Forget. Super good. Wish I actually paid attention.
We're
But
whiskey people. We're not beer people.
I'm a beer person.
I'm also terrible with names and
I love
keeping track of names.
Yep.
But
like beer.
Start a
solid.
beer
Awesome.
podcast, guys. Come on. This is whiskey. Let's keep
We
going.
just
Sorry.
get fatter.
Well, I haven't been drinking beer recently.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yes.
Beer puts
Stop.
me to sleep. It makes me
It does
less,
make you
less
tired.
interesting.
It always depends.
But yeah, super good. Check them out. Didn't get to partake of the whiskey, unfortunately, because they were closed. But the tasting room at the brewery was not. So then we find ourselves essentially departing, split ways. So it was just my brother, Nick, and Sam, and then me left after that. And then we went to Astoria, Oregon, to the Bowie Brewery, and now Distillery. They were setting up, building their distillery while we were down there. We got to see some of the construction. Super cool. I didn't know they were actually still building. I thought they were done, but I might be wrong on that. They might have been just expanding something, but I think it looked like they were doing stuff at I think it's a separate building unit, building their distillery at. But pretty cool. Definitely going to have to check that out next time we go there. But,
Seems like a lot of breweries are starting to kind of do that
because it's
dual,
it's yin and yang almost.
like, brewstillery sort of thing.
If you have the equipment to do beer, then you essentially, like, there's a couple more steps, but you just need the distill or the still to go to the next step. But I mean, making the beer is almost the hardest part, and that's the most time and equipment intensive side of it. But I got a beer there, but I forgot to bring it. It was like Zach, you and I had it, so we can kind of.
Was that the
super
weird
fruity.
one that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it too.
You said you're bad with names. I can't even remember it all.
It had
what was
stone fruit in
called.
it. It wasn't distilled to stone fruit, but it had it in
In
like the
it.
fermentation side, and then it fermented for like 26 months or something. It said
26 months?
26. Yeah.
That wouldn't be months.
No, it was months
Yeah.
on the back of the can. I wish I had a picture of it.
Months?
Yeah.
It's something. It was crazy, but it was pretty good. But yeah, I forgot to bring that. We would have had that. We could try it again, but my fault. So, and got to see the Goonies museum.
Wait, but you saw the museum.
We saw the museum.
You
We
didn't go.
in
You didn't
the
do the
museum.
museum.
Oh, you didn't go into the
No,
museum?
How much was it?
Super busy.
It was
just
busy, and they
yeah.
were only allowing like parties of 5
Oh.
or something. So it was And if you weren't related, then it was it just took a long. It would have took a long time. So
I could do the truffle shovel.
If only this
I don't
podcast was
doubt
on
you.
video.
So we dipped out, and then we went to Mount Hood camp at the night, and we got up there, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. We were going up the trail in this national forest, Hood National Forest.
You know, I've heard it's dangerous for guys like us to be in the hood.
Yeah, really.
What is that? What kind of guys are we, Dawson?
White.
What? We can't go to the hood? But like, where is the hood at?
Well,
Where's the hood at? Where's the hood at?
Oregon, apparently.
You guys would be.
I
It's
know
like a
exactly
big
what
meme
you're talking
online.
about.
Yeah.
I've seen lots
Online.
of like,
Yeah,
TikToks and
I'm
stuff.
sure. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna pour. Let's pour this. and
Yeah,
then
let's get away from
We'll talk
that.
about the hood section, and then when I get to the distillery that this came from, then I'll talk more about it. But
Yeah.
we can get some flavor savor in there.
Where the hood?
Well, I don't have a mustache.
There's a yeah.
What? You have a mustache?
No, but he says we can get some flavor saver in there. But
Oh,
I said I don't have a mustache.
The thing broke.
The foil.
The foil tearaway.
Ugh.
I got it though.
Come on, guys.
Oh,
Make
no.
a more
Brand new bottle, cork pop, unopened.
Oh. Ooh, that was nice and sweet. So, what is, as you pass it on, what is this?
Stuff.
Here, pass this down to. Here's the cork in here.
Dawson.
So, Mount Hood. So we drove out to Mount Hood, go up the trail, and there was a car that was coming down. It was 11 o'clock at night in the woods.
Oh.
And
Baby pour for Zach.
I mean, we're trying like 12 whiskeys today. I think baby pours are the way to go.
the good news is this is
You can hand me that?
low proof.
I don't have a glass.
Your glass.
Do you not want me to use that?
You can use it.
You sure?
Yeah, it just has my name on it.
Well, do you
They're
want to
for
use
me.
this one?
Well, which one would you use if you didn't?
They both have their names on it.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't.
They're both
You
the
can
same.
you can use
Sure.
it. I just want to keep track of.
There's a
which one
Play-Doh
that's
cup
all.
behind you.
Oh, there's a
Do you want to
Play-Doh
use the
cup?
Play-Doh
No,
cup?
use the Glencairn.
I want to
Glencairn-
use the Play-Doh cup.
Who's old Rip Van Winkle? I'm using old Rip Van Winkle's glass.
Dude,
You
old
must have
Rip Van
stole that-
Winkle's
you
going to
stole
come
that
and
from
get
him.
You're
you.
gonna get me, throw me in jail. That reminds me of something that I'm gonna put that aside and
Can
come
we do
back to it.
Warperman Jensen?
If you can give me that bottle at some point, then I can talk about it. So Hood, the car stops. It's coming the opposite way. Hood down.
Hood down.
Hood was latched. The window was open. It was flashing its lights at us, and it stopped on the side of the road. We didn't see it in time, so we kept going. But we're like, oh, like
He probably wanted us to stop.
he probably wanted us to stop. He's gonna tell us something. But so we get to this campsite, and we had been there before, so we knew where it was. And started setting up tents because Nick and I are tenting. Sam was sleeping in the back of his truck, in the box and topper and stuff. So he doesn't really have anything else to do other than just wait for us to get our stuff out of the truck. And he spots a track in the ground. And it's a mountain lion print, pretty decent size. And next to it is a bunch of like toddler footprints, like somebody's kid, 6-year-old or something.
That's a bad combination.
right.
Of footprints.
It's not good. No blood, anything. So our
Eaten
best
whole.
eaten whole.
Just a lot of hair.
Those cougars love them toddlers.
Oh.
So what our best guess was that there might have been probably someone was camping there, maybe the car that we saw. And then at night, mountain lion maybe came in and spooked them, and then they had
Ditched,
head
yeah.
out.
Smart move.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. So we're like, all right, mountain lions. So Nick grabs his 12 gauge, loads it full of buckshot, and we're just kind of like, all right, just in case. So we're setting up our tent, figuring out a parameter using the bins cooler systems that we have to make something that is impenetrable to a mountain lion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Easy
They're,
peasy.
They're phobic of coolers.
Well, and you put the rain fly on one of those
Yeah.
tents.
It's like,
No getting
oh my
in.
goodness, it's an igloo. Stay away.
It's like a sea bear circle
a-
made of nylon. It's amazing.
It's foolproof. It's tested. So we had our back to the truck. So, I mean, we knew we weren't going to get ambushed from behind. But as we're doing that, Nick and I are doing that, Sam is kind of like just checking out the tree line. And he spots two sets of eyes about 2.5 feet off the ground. Calls us. We try to run across the other side of the truck, and it was gone. But Sam's convinced that he saw a mountain lion, and we believe him because there is tracks and stuff.
Yeah. Then he's like green eyes, right? I mean,
Yeah.
What other animals
They might
have green eyes on?
I think there's a few,
indigenous to that region,
but
Johnny Depp.
or
Wow.
Shia LaBeouf,
Could've been
actual
Shia
cannibal.
LaBeouf.
Actual
Shia LaBeouf.
cannibal
He's-
Shia LaBeouf.
He's definitely out there.
Your
I feel like
leg
he
was
has
going to get
brown
caught in a bear
eyes.
trap.
Yeah.
so so we're like, dang it, now what do we do?
We have to go.
So I mean, we like Nick and I are like, because it was kind of up to Nick and I, because Sam's doesn't really care,
Yeah.
right?
He's in the car.
He's in
safe.
the truck.
Probably with the 4570.
Yeah, well,
You
I
could
had
have
the, I
slept
had
in
the
the
45.
passenger seat and the driver's seat.
Yeah, that would have been uncomfortable.
Oh, it would have sucked, but you would have been safe.
Yeah, but so our basically we kind of just sat and looked at each other, scanning the area so to make sure it didn't sneak up on us. But we decided to just go to our next location in Bend, Oregon, which was like 3-4 hours away. So as Nick and I were scanning the forests with our protective devices, Sam just mad dashed, just kind of threw everything in the truck.
Yeah.
So
It's like a game of duck hunt, but there's only one bird, and the bird's a mountain lion,
And it
it's,
will
and it's
murder
pitch
your
black,
face.
and you have 5 seconds to shoot it, or it's game over.
Or you die.
yeah, so
You get
And
eviscerated.
you get one shot.
well, I
Well,
mean,
if
the other
you
person will get more shots.
If you
Right.
move quick enough, I mean,
Or no, it's like that. It's like Big Buck Hunter at the arcade.
yeah.
And it's of course it's gonna take an alternate route, like side to side, to get to you.
Oh,
And then you got to shoot it like 3 times before it falls.
and then the game warden's like, "You just shot a doe.
Disqualified.
It's like, stupid.
You don't have a tag for that."
It was 12
Continue
o'clock and
in
it was
60
dark.
seconds.
So yeah, we left, and that was kind of the end of that. But that was kind of the excitement we had. And so then we get to Bend at like 3 a.m., find another national forest outside, go to bed, wake up the next day, and then 12 o'clock we get to this location, Oregon Spirits Distillery in Bend, Oregon. And what we have in front of us is one of their offerings exclusively from the distillery only, the gift shop. It is their malt whiskey, heirloom malt whiskey, the Hawthorne series from Oregon Spirits Distillery. So this is edition number 6, 43% alcohol or 86 proof. It is 5 years old, distilled from grains. So this is not single malt. This is a blend of 2 grains. This is the notes on it. Heirloom malt whiskey is an in-house blended whiskey using malt and spelled grains, both distilled once and aged on used oak for 5 years, uncast, and then blended with mountain water to a palatable 86 proof. Pleasant flavors of palm fruit, spices, gentle oak, butterscotch, crisp pie crust come together for a complex, smooth experience. So, and I kind of Googled a little bit more about that grain, and it is essentially very similar to wheat.
Okay.
That's the spelt, right? Not the...
Spelt. And heirloom, which I didn't really know this until recently, but heirloom apparently is a, this is just what Google says, grown from seeds that have been passed down from generation to generation. Heirloom grains haven't been processed or genetically modified like wheat, rice, corn. Some types you might see are elk corn, spelt,
Rye.
I don't
barley,
think rye.
corn.
Huh?
I don't think rye is
There-
one.
I think you can.
I mean, there's heirloom rye.
Yeah.
Right.
But it all depends on where it came from and if it hasn't been genetically altered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's all those things too.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's just
all dependent on if it's been genetically
it's a
altered. or not.
variety.
yep.
But
Also,
yeah.
a palm fruit is just coconut.
Really picking up that.
Is it
palm
really?
fruit.
Palm fruit
It's
is
coconut?
coconut and dates.
It's a
I guess that
synonym.
makes sense.
What
So
palm fruit is.
it's a relative of the wheat. Close relatives. Similar nutritional profiles.
All right. I want to look for that pie crust because pie crust should be. I mean, in my mind, pie crust is always like buttery
Graham cracker.
consistency. Yeah.
So the reason I got this is not necessarily because of my favorite of the distillery. It was the only thing that was exclusive at the time. Everything else they're highly accessible at Total Wine.
I could taste the coconut,
Yeah.
Yeah. Coconut
which
pie
isn't my
crust, I like
favorite,
that.
but
Dylan, you used the phrase that young.
it's young.
Well, craft. That's what you call it. Like a young
Did I say
craft
that?
distillery. Not on this podcast. I mean, in times past, you describe things as
I see.
it has that craft taste, where it's kind of like a
Like
light.
Easy
It's
Mac?
it's like a light flavoring that kind of makes it taste off.
Light,
Like it's
woody.
not.
Yeah.
It kind of gets rid of the full bodiness, and it's always the same feeling though. It always leaves the same mouthfeel, no matter what distillery it
So
is.
I've learned a little bit more about the craft note, that green element. Apparently, there is a couple places it can come from. This green sappy vegetation.
Yeah.
It could be from the method of drying the barrels, kiln drying versus just natural drying. Most of the time, that may not be it, but that is one place it can come from. The second place that recently has kind of been that I discovered, not personally, obviously, but just secondhand account, that it does show up in bourbons when they make the cuts off the still. It's possibly that there's a certain section, it seems, not too far down in the tails, but kind of somewhere between the transition, the hearts and tails,
And
that a lot of people, this is actually Crowded Barrel was talking about it, that there's a note that they take out and then they kind of continue after it or past that note, but it's a sappy note, and it's just for a little bit, and they can smell it before it comes into the spirit, and then they know, all right, so we got to
cut it off.
cut this out
and start.
and then when it goes away, then take more or something. So it does show up in the spirit depending on what they are making. So not necessarily this, but a bourbon or something.
Tastes like black tea.
A little bit. I was gonna say this tastes very foresty, minty. And
It's 5
bready
years.
and barky, and I kind of like it. It's a little
much for me.
I'm
but
glad it's not a higher proof, to be honest, because it already tastes, not hot,
Tangy?
but just tangy. It's very
Spicy.
For
For only being 43% and it using a malt and what is essentially a relative of the wheat,
Yep.
that's it's very spicy.
Yeah, it's all right. What'd you pay for that?
I think it was $50.
Right at the distillery.
At the distillery.
and it's
It was
it's
exclusive.
unique, it's exclusive.
That was what the most important thing was, is like, I want to get something, I'm on the trip, I want to get something I can only get here.
I like the bottle design.
Yeah, I
I
was about to
love
say
I love the
that.
playing card emblems
Yeah.
on the side. I love the old timey
The Hawthorne series logo is pretty sweet.
The label's very nice. The bottle's generic looking, but not too generic. It's just a good, solid bottle that I'd like to display in a collection.
Yeah. It's for someone that's going to explore. It's not
Yeah, what I will say is that I'm happy this doesn't taste anything like a bourbon. Like, it's American.
It's
to
a
a
distilled
T.
specialty.
Yeah, it's something different.
Or no, it's just a whiskey,
Yeah,
because
it's whiskey. It's American whiskey.
Yeah, because it's just
But like a lot of American whiskeys still try to make bourbon flavors in their American.
well, you
whiskey.
might as well.
Yeah,
well, in the American whiskey.
Yeah, because they
approachable.
want those notes. They
sweetness.
want sugar and they want caramel.
Do we have a dump glass? I
No,
accidentally poured myself
too much.
just instinctually.
Oh,
Dawson's taking one for the team. Finished off his water glass.
Who needs water?
So you went here. Did you meet anyone nice at the? Was there a nice
Great. I had a
bar
He
tender?
made a whiskey lady.
A whiskey lady.
Whiskey lady.
Who's that lady?
my Canadian girlfriend in Oregon.
Whiskey lady.
No, I had a great conversation. It was like 12 o'clock. Nick and I went in. Great conversation with the bartender there. We paid for a flight. We had their rye whiskey, bourbon. There was 4. Crap. There was a bottle and bond bourbon they had. There was a single barrel rye. Maybe that was all we had. There's 3 they have. Oh, a wheat whiskey. Mm-hmm. They have a wheated whiskey and maybe a wheated bourbon. I completely forgot. And then Nick tried the rum, their vodka, absinthe. The absinthe was really good. I actually forgot. I had a sample of the absinthe I brought here so that we could try. Forgot to sample at Nick's place. So, but it was really good. It's definitely a solid whiskey. You know, it's good. Mm-hmm. The bottle and bond, their bourbon is also single barrel, and that was really interesting. I did not realize that. But yeah, I mean, they have great distributor going for them. I mean, they're in Total Wine and everything, so they're pretty big. But we got to see the still run in process. They were making wheat whiskey. Pretty cool, you know. But we were kind of on the clock. Sam's net 21, so kind of just came, saw, and left.
You got to take a hit for the team.
Oh, I did.
More.
But, excuse me.
So where'd you go next?
So next, effectively, we went. We decided to go to the Grand Canyon. So we went to Salt Lake. It was on the way.
Were you planning to go to the Grand Canyon when you left?
No.
So you went to a big hole in the ground.
You diverged from your plans.
Yeah, I think originally.
To go see a big hole in the ground
for 20 minutes, and then you're like, "Wow, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Let's go."
Is there that glass bridge over the Grand Canyon, or was that somewhere else?
I think
it is the Grand Canyon. I think that might be the east entrance. We went to the south entrance. Oh, okay. But
I would never.
And you hiked the whole thing?
Oh yeah,
in the bottom.
From north to south.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Donkey took us.
Donkey.
Yeah, with all the water that like the Southwest is using, the Grand Canyon's so dry, it opened up entirely new hiking trails.
Yep.
Untouched. And of course humans ruined it already, I'm sure.
They had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
What?
At the gift shop. They're like $4.
Wait, like Uncrustables?
No, it was like a homemade, house-made PB&J. It was like $4.
How much peanut butter on it, or was it like skimpy?
Were they skimpy? The peanut butter was skimpy. The jelly was pretty. It was soggy.
It was too much jelly, not enough peanut butter.
They didn't use the sealants.
That seems about the right price because that's the kind of place that would charge like $12 for a BLT.
Yeah.
So for a third of that for a PB&J, that's about right.
$4 for PB&J, that's ridiculous. It wasn't an Uncrustable.
But you spent $4 on it.
No, I didn't buy it. I what did I get? I don't even know what I got. Okay. But so I mean, yeah, to the Grand Canyon, we stopped at Salt Lake, and we were only 40 minutes away from a magical place.
I know of a place where you drink lots of liquor. A magical place
with lots of Mormons. High West Distillery.
Utah.
Bum, bum, bum.
So we went to the High West Distillery.
No, that doesn't.
And
High West.
High West?
Wiesna. And they're outside of Salt Lake, 40 minutes. We drive up. They have a compound. This is how big that is. This compound. You get to the compound entrance.
There's a guy with an AK. There's a guy with an AK who like lets you in.
Essentially, but
is there
just
a Gatling gun on the wall?
Dude,
that'd be sick. They got like artillery
from the olden days, like actual cannons from the Old West.
Oh, the Gatling guns where you have to like
like the rotary ones.
Rotary.
The gravity fed ones.
We are just imagining a world, a place that doesn't exist right now.
Cowboy run distillery.
But we can make it.
It's true. So we got there, and there was a dude. I'd never been there before, so I didn't really know what to expect. But there's a check-in. You drive in, and the check-in. The guy's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Hoping to get to the High West Distillery." It's like, "You ever been here before?" No. It's like, "All right, you pull ahead. There's a guest parking lot. Go there, and then there's like a lobby. You can wait, and there's a shuttle." We're like, "Oh, a shuttle! Oh.
Ooh, fancy."
So we stop, and then wait for the shuttle, and Nick and I go up. Sam stays down because we're in Utah and everything's illegal if you're a minor. So it's a really nice place. It's on a ranch. I don't know what the property, who owns what, but they kind of had like a wedding reception area that you can go down and have a wedding if you're feeling spontaneous. And
did you?
No.
That'd have been awkward.
I can hear that pen.
Sorry.
He married the bottle.
Married the bottle.
He's like, oh, bottle, I love you.
I love you so much. You're so soft for being glass.
You got such a nice texture.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do. They have the little...
I know.
It's just like speckled stuff in the glass.
And the way the words in your label whisper in my head when I read them.
What?
The inner voice changes.
High West.
So we get up there. They get us a table. It's also like it's like a restaurant too. Most places have like a food truck. They had like their own actual restaurant, which is pretty sweet.
That's how you know they made it.
Mm-hmm. Was the food any good?
We were just doing a flight. I don't think Nick got something. I'm not sure. So
Big pretzel.
So I got a flight of the double rye, which we're familiar with, the Prairie Bourbon, Campfire, the Rendezvous, and they also had a Campfire finished in cognac. That was really good. They did not have that for sale. This is the Rendezvous that as recently had the updated artwork on the front. It's pretty sweet.
It's very polygonal.
Yeah.
What?
Polygonal? Polygonal?
That's a big word.
It's not.
That's a big word.
Wait,
polygonal.
That's how you say polygonal?
Yeah.
It's the same word?
Yeah.
I thought he was
you were trying
talking
to say
about
polygamy.
having multiple wives.
No, that fits way too close.
Yeah.
That's also in Utah.
Yeah.
But it was either that or you were talking about pygmies.
No.
So the artwork is, but that was Ed Mell. That's the artist. He's a famous artist that does Western art. So this survived the trip. Nick actually dropped this on the asphalt from the truck, and it didn't break.
It's because of the speckled softness.
Only
obviously.
a High West bottle would survive.
Yeah.
Cork pop.
That was a denser pop.
That's a good one. That's a good schmack.
So I'm trying to recall. You should reread the tasting notes on this on the back, because I don't remember how the regular... I mean, this is regular Rendezvous, but with updated artwork, right?
This is... it's a different batch. To my knowledge, it's like... I don't think it's quite a yearly release or something. I'm not sure what it is, but it is a limited release.
Yeah.
But it's not like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But this is the new artwork, which is pretty sweet.
I wonder if they're going to update the artwork on the
rest.
I really like this artwork.
I
mean, High West has wonderful artwork to begin with. They all have like model little dudes in sets.
I just like
sweet.
this because I think it's just interesting.
So it's 46. Straight rye whiskey is a blend. This, I thought... This one I should have looked up more. This has a lot more of their own distillate or still product. What would be the...
Their domestic product.
Their distilled
Yeah, but
product.
there's a word for... anyways, this is their... I believe this is mostly their own product, if not all. Mm-hmm. Less so of a sourced product than years past. But it is Rendezvous Rye. Batch number 21026. No color added.
21206.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I've been reading about that in my journals.
Mm-hmm. My journals.
What journals do you read?
Wall Street journals.
I read Reader's Digest.
Gentleman's Quarterly.
I read nothing but the diaries of people that were on death row.
I only read Reader's Digest while I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It is wonderful.
Oh, yeah, that's good. So here the tasting notes are honey, dried fruit, and spice. More in depth is a botanical spice character, notes of honey, mint, molasses, dried fruits for good measure. Rendezvous is not chill filtered. You need a choice that keeps its natural oils intact and allows for a full body finish. Limited supply for a reason. Enjoy now or let it dust over and become a relic. Here's a quote by someone. Ride fast, but stop for every rendezvous. Credit to unknown.
I like it. This is also minty. Like the last one was pretty minty too. Well, the last one's more piney, I guess. This one's more minty. And
It's just a good rye.
yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know how to explain what's going in my mouth, but going on in my mouth.
Yeah,
It's
you can think of rye spice.
pretty good.
It's like a.
I like it.
It's not as spicy as a rye
It's
as
like a
I.
it's just
No, it's not.
peppery.
Yeah, it's not super spicy.
It's peppery.
It's pretty hot to me.
Yeah.
peppery, but
It's peppery, but I feel like I've just had spicier rye.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's just like
But at
it's
46%, this is it's good. I mean, it's what I would expect to a High West rye.
Yeah.
so they're gonna be. I'm assuming pushing that out to shelves soon.
This
Or is
released-
that only gonna be
This released back, I think, in May.
oh,
So I mean, it's been out. They have it at Total here. I've seen it.
with the new artwork.
Yeah, it runs for about $60. I think I got this for actually $75 at the distillery. I think there's some local tax there. But
They're just selfish.
yeah, this distillery is
Utah.
way bigger
Than you thought.
than I thought it was going to be.
I
This
thought
was
it
like it's a very established distillery, which I mean it makes sense because they have a very good product and stuff. But gift shop was really cool. Did a flight. We've all had double rye, of course. It's good. The American Prairie bourbon was okay. I'm not a huge fan of bourbon. I probably like rye more than bourbon in general, but yeah. But it was decent. It was good, especially for the pricing. The Campfire, I love it. It's good. Rendezvous was solid, amazing. The Campfire finished in cognac was astounding. I wish I could have got one of that. It was completely changed the Campfire from what it originally is. It mellowed out the smoky Scotch that's in that blend and left something sweeter in the context compared to the Campfire, but probably not as sweet as the bourbon.
Yep.
It was very complex.
Yeah, I think the more complex for rye is the better. Because this one is kind of complex. It's very forward, I think, in like two flavors, right? And that's spice and mint.
Yeah,
And
but the fruit,
there's
the fruit is really present actually.
Oh, really?
It's a
I don't-
fruity aftertaste,
I don't get
more or
any
less.
The mint hides it. It's like
Yeah. I'm trying to like a dried fruit. I'm thinking like a raisin, So I'm trying to taste for
I think
like
it's strawberry.
A strawberry.
That's what came to my head.
It tastes like just kind of like apple-y,
Like an apple cinnamon.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm getting plum.
I can't agree fully with all those, but
It tastes like a tart strawberry to me on the finish, a little bit, but
Like an unripe strawberry, or
tart. Yeah.
not like when you get to the stem of the strawberry,
stem.
it's like white, or green, and it's like it's still sweet, and the texture is the same, but it's not quite there.
it's not quite the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get any real fruit off this, and if I had to pick one, I guess plum was the most like accurate. I think.
Plum.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So this was kind of one of this was the last stop for quite a while, essentially. So after this, we got to ride back down. We didn't actually wait for the shuttle. We got a ride from a nice couple, a former employee that worked at the High West, in the back of their pickup box. So Nick and I rode back down the 5-minute ride back down to the parking lot, got a ride, and head out. And then eventually we made our way to the canyon, came there, looked, took some pictures there for about 35 minutes.
We left.
Yep.
Did
and
you
we
find
left.
a kid in a trash can with a mullet?
What?
I'm Joe Dirt.
Oh, he was left. I forgot.
Yeah.
Did they leave him at the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I need to watch that movie again. So we left, and then we decided a little before that to let's go to Austin and get some barbecue. and I had intentions beyond barbecue to go to Austin.
That sounds so sus.
I had someone to meet
in
in Austin.
I had ulterior motives to going to Austin.
my methods are beyond your understanding.
You cannot comprehend my intelligence.
So I think it was a town called Gary or somewhere a little bit after that.
Gary, Indiana?
We drove through the night and the truck developed problems with its bearing. And we broke down, thankfully, before it became a very bad issue.
Built Ford tough, am I right?
Yeah.
Or
But
like found on road dead.
for that circumstance, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to rely on the always timely AAA to get us a tow truck. And we waited for about 3 hours. And we did get it fixed. Once we got to the actual shop, it was only about a 20 to 30 minute job. Super easy, simple. Got out of there as soon as possible and then got to good old Austin, Texas about 9 o'clock to our hotel. And I was beat. Wasn't that hungry. But Nick and Sam fancied themselves a burger. So they went out. And I was texting our resident friend in Austin, because we were going to get together. He was going to show us some places to get some barbecue.
Some sweet golf courses. And by golf courses,
Peter Pan mini golf.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Peter Pan.
We'll get to it. He'll get to it.
Carter's legitimately excited.
I kind of am.
Full pogger face right now.
Big pog.
I was texting Alan, our friend. Mm-hmm. Nick and Sam were out getting food, and
you're in a really nice part of Austin, right?
yeah, I mean, Alan was letting us know, like, that, like, I lived across the street from there, and it's a little bad. So be careful. But
not the nicest area.
So as I'm texting Alan, he's like, oh, be careful. It's a little bit sketchy. I'm like, oh, great. Nick and Sam are out. So they get back. And then the first thing Nick said is like, well, so Sam almost got mugged. Or he did get, he didn't, he tried to get mugged.
He almost got
mugged.
When they got the burger, he went back to the car and there was a guy waiting for him. And he's like, got any money on you? And Sam's like, no. He's like, well, I got a gun, so you should go get some money.
There's an ATM inside.
There's like an ATM inside.
Goodness.
And Sam's like, no.
No.
And the guy
he looked him up and down. You could see that there's no gun.
Well,
right?
he wasn't. He didn't have it out. He just said he had it. So,
But it's Texas. Everyone has a gun.
right.
That's a good
You
point.
would think.
No.
But no.
So
That's such a good response.
yeah. So they got back, and then it was like, oh, that's great.
Austin is like different than the rest of Texas, though. It's a different vibe.
Well, Texas is too big to actually call it one thing.
Yeah,
It's just freaking huge.
Mm-hmm.
Austin's definitely the outlier out of like the major cities, though.
Because it's weird.
Yeah,
Is it more hipster?
it's a lot more hipster. It's more like St. Paul or like almost like a Portland, but like a toned
kind
down.
of uptowny.
I mean, Austin's slogan is "Keep Austin Weird," which isn't that the same
That's
as
also
Portland's.
Portland's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. But I mean, yeah. So nothing bad happened. Thankfully, it was a good personality building experience.
You got mugged.
So
I mean, that is the greatest response, though. Like, give me your
No.
money. No.
No.
And then the guy was like, what was the guy like? He's just like,
the guy was
okay.
like, "Oh, thanks for not being scared," but
Yeah.
like,
Bye.
really want that money.
yeah, he's like, I'm poor. Like, this
So-
is my job.
I love the Sam just stone cold. No,
No.
you
No.
don't have a gun. It's like even if he did pull it and like shoot Sam,
It's just
like,
Sam.
well, no, it's like, okay, you shot me. What's your plan now?
You don't get your money, and now you just committed a
I'm
murder.
gonna collapse on the
just
pocket
shot
I have
somebody.
my
Yeah.
wallet.
I guess he won't need money in jail. He'll have free food.
Win-win.
Win-win.
So, yeah. Then the next day we went out, did some exploring. We went to Peter Pan, putt golf. Did a
Peter Pan.
20,
So cool.
or 36, 32 holes.
32 holes.
Yeah, they have two
That's a weird
courses.
It's like massive.
So are they only 16 hole rounds?
Yes.
So
18.
Usually a golf, it's
Yeah.
usually 18, so it'll be
Yep.
36.
36. And so that was fun. We did that. It was hot.
It's Texas.
It was hot, yeah, but it wasn't humid like it is today.
It's
So
hot
it was
in
just hot in
Topeka.
the sun essentially. But and then we got to ride those Lime scooters back to the car because they parked. They couldn't find a lot because they dropped me off to get in line.
Peter Pan was just so packed.
There
that
was
no
it was like a
parking spots.
birthday going on, so there's a lot of people there. But we got right at the end of it, so they had to go park somewhere else. But by the end of the day, there was no one else in the parking lot. So we rode these scooters back. Those things are dangerous, but they're fun.
Oh, they're super fun.
Yeah,
It's pretty easy to like almost buck yourself
It is.
off.
It
Because
is.
like if you kind of wobble a little bit, you're just kind of like whoop, get launched.
they wheelie very easily.
They wheelie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you're not careful,
Wow.
they will buck you off.
Remember,
That's funny.
they're carrying Austin, Texas residents. I'm
That's a good
sure
point.
already weigh an average more than the average of the United States.
They're big boys.
They're big people.
Big people.
But so that was on Tuesday. So we had to kill some time before the distilleries opened up. So we went. I think we stopped at a Total Wine. I just wanted to see kind of what kind of picks they had, anything interesting, and they did have some stuff that we have not yet received. At least they got some single barrels that we'll kind of go into later in another episode. And
This thing called Maker's Mark.
they had a thing called Maker's Mark 46.
Holy crap.
But no, I picked up a bourbon, Bardstown Bourbon Company. I had heard of it. I know a little bit about it. It is Kentucky, Bardstown, obviously. I believe it's a new distillery. They are sourcing a majority of their stuff, but they are doing distilled products in it. So they're super clear though on what's in here. So that's the beautiful part. So this is part of their Fusion series. It is 47.45% alcohol, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. There's a breakdown on this, the blend. This is 40% Kentucky bourbon, age 13 years. I can't read it. It's hard. 13 years. Mash bill on that portion is 74% corn, 18% rye, 8% malted barley, 11% Bardstown Bourbon Company 3-year-old bourbon, 60% corn, 40% rye, 15%.
How are we not over 100 right now?
Because the first part was 40.
Oh, but okay.
40, 11.
Okay.
Now we're at 15.
Oh,
15%. Bardstown, another Bardstown Bourbon Company 3-year, 76% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley, and then the remaining is 34% Bardstown Bourbon Company 4-year, 70% corn, 18% rye.
okay. What,
They're
He's
not-
reading the mash bill
they're
for
not-
each.
Oh,
It's a blend.
They're not at
for
100%
each
because
blend.
Yeah,
they
so
put
it's
110%
Yeah.
into every bourbon.
I'm like, this one whiskey has like 500%.
No, they're using so it's like that first 40% was like like an
Yeah,
MGP,
I get
and then
it.
it
See, I
was
get
the
now.
rest was
Yep.
theirs.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I
they're
understand.
sourcing 40% of this from somewhere else that is older stock to blend out the younger stuff. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's cool. Other than that, I don't know much about the distillery. They got some pictures, a little brochure pamphlet on it. It's a nice looking distillery actually, but you can flip through this when you guys get
This
it.
is a beauty.
Yeah. So let's drink some of this. Cork pop. I do hear that.
I want to take my shirt off.
It's not that warm.
It's hot.
It's not though.
It's hot. It's humid. I hate humidity.
Yeah. Well, move away then.
It's usually not this bad.
What
Yeah,
are you talking about? It's July.
Yeah, it is.
In a closed room that has no circulation.
Well, it's because we're in a closed room. I
With no
understand that.
circulation.
Yeah.
I try this. It's good.
It smells like bourbon.
Oh yeah, this is
Smells like liquor.
No, like it has the bourbon smell.
Excellent representation of a Kentucky bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Smells like bourbon.
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 Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for me, I didn't research this properly, and I found in Texas. It's not really a highlight of either place, but it's good juice.
It's good juice. I'm kind of sad that the cork is like plastic
But those work
with the
way
synthetic
better.
cork.
Oh, I see.
But it's just like I
know,
I love them when they're just like metal and they're just hefty.
They clink.
Yeah, they clink and they're just hefty. I don't really care about the cork.
Bong.
Actually, it's a pretty good bourbon.
No, it is.
Very molassesy.
Let me look on pricing on that. We'll try to find that. That one should be fairly easy to find.
Definitely a bourbon. Smells like whiskey.
I've been drinking too much scotch recently.
That's all I really drink now.
This isn't hitting any like the bourbon notes that I like. You know, like it's just sweet and it's not even that.
What's the addition on that one?
Like
It's very it's so sweet
it's a good
and it's super molassesy.
it's got a great body to it though.
It's nice
Like,
and thick.
It's like silky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4. Yeah, I should say this is series number 4. I didn't say that.
Is there a price difference in series?
There's
or is
a
it-
lot of different editions. I do.
It's not bad. But I do understand where you're coming from, Zach.
Mm-hmm. It's got good. It's nice and oily
What?
without being too proofy. What?
Uh-oh.
Google's saying it was $130, but I don't believe it.
You got a deal, man.
I think it was like 60.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now. 130. Heck no. This is
No,
not good juice.
I don't think it. I thought it was like 50.
Yeah.
Are you on total right now?
No, I just Googled it. Hopefully, a total listing would come.
I got you, my dude.
Price master, get us that price.
Watch me not be able to find my total app.
Oh, this one's green. Crap. Well, you have to do it for somewhere other than Minnesota because it's not in the market.
Not here?
No, I got it in Texas. It's not in the Minnesota market. I know that.
But they might still have a listing for it.
No,
No.
I just clicked on it.
It could just be so exclusive that the price you saw was.
What did I buy? How much is this?
You don't know how much you spent at the store?
I don't remember. Well,
When
I
it
know
comes-
how much I spent at the store, but I
Yeah.
bought 4 bottles.
When it comes to whiskey, you just kind of close you take a blind eye to the receipt.
This is saying it's like 120, 130 bucks. I thought it was. This is the green one. This is not the right series. Oh, this isn't number 4 then. What is that
Bardstown
number?
Bourbon Fusion Series. It says it's $59.99.
What series is that? Because this is saying 4, but it's the blue logo.
Fusion series.
This is blue.
just as fusion.
All right, we'll go off. So the price on that was
$60.
$60.
Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah,
I don't know.
It's got all 5-star ratings.
I think it's good. I think
It's all right. It's not offensive.
For 60
It's a good heat, good body.
this lines up for me, which the price it would mean that it's not that great of a value, but it's reminding me of 1792. It could be a Barton's. That I don't know what the main chunk of this is, the older stuff, but I'm giving that vibe, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, Dylan, I think you were looking at the Discovery series.
This is the Discovery series, isn't it?
No, it's
Oh,
the
this
Fusion
is the Fusion.
series.
Never mind. Yes,
Because the Discovery series is 130.
that was probably the case. So I picked that up, and I also picked up a Westland Peated, which I am saving for another episode. But that has been discontinued too. So I picked that up because why not? So, but then we went to still Austin, the distillery. Had some good food there. Had some cocktails. Tried the 14-month Musician, and then bought a bottle of the 2-year Musician. And we're gonna save that for next episode
as well.
to try. But
Excellent.
I did buy that. I have that with me. It was good. It's a very beautiful distillery. Definitely check it out. But yeah, and then there was one other distillery we went to, but then we got barbecue at Salt Lick
What kind
with
of barbecue?
Alan.
Why does it sound
Just some
famous?
pulled meat.
Brisket.
Mhm.
You got brisket. The sauce was really good.
Is that famous?
Sounds
Sounds like I've heard that before.
I feel.
Or is that
I
more
think
of
it's
a local thing?
fairly.
Somebody was saying it was a chain. Like they
I
had
think
multiple
it's a chain.
locations.
I think it's fairly generic.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was the best thing I ever had, because honestly it wasn't. The sauce was
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm assuming house-made barbecue sauce.
Possibly, I didn't look into it. But
It is.
it was just kind of a place we went to.
Well, at least they produce their own sauce. It might not have been made in a restaurant, but like I know they have it where you can buy it. Right.
Yeah. Did you meet up with?
Yeah, we got
Alan at
barbecue there with Alan.
Nice.
We told him the story of Sam getting attempted to get mugged, and
That's pretty.
he was entertained by that. So and then we bought him dinner, and, showed us around a little bit, but had a good conversation. So yeah, that brings us to the next day, and we woke up, checked out of our hotel because it was really nice to have the hotel after camping for almost 2 weeks, and having showers, of course. But then there was one other place, and I kind of had to pick between a great many distilleries that I would love to go to in Austin area or in Texas in general. That reason we have to go back at some point and do that. Check out some of those. Ghost Hill, or not Ghost Hill, but Treaty Oak. Really close to that. Should have gone to that. We didn't have the time. Balcones. Didn't get to go to Balcones.
Balcones.
Balconi's.
Garrison Bros is near
Yep.
the Iron Root Distillery,
Yep.
which we've had from them.
Yep.
But we gotta go down there at some point. Check it out.
I feel like if I went to Texas, I would just overindulge in just the most savory things, like
It's Texas.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
the point.
That's why we're going down there.
but then it makes me I'm a huge lover of ramen, and ramen's like super
I'm
salty.
sure we can find some great ramen
And
shops down there.
I know they have them. I've
But it's
seen,
the-
but I mean, if I have any more salt than my body can even barely handle, it just my cheeks just start exploding. It's a horrible
Have
feeling,
you tried popping them?
huh?
You tried popping them.
You
when
get
they
the saline, just start spitting salt water.
Squeeze it
Like you
out.
can feel it in your jaw. So my jaw becomes tingly after ingesting.
So,
lots of
because
sodium.
that's a thing where if you have too much salt, doesn't it? Doesn't your body hold the water? Like, isn't that a condition
Yeah.
more where you hold more
right,
water?
you hold
and
more
then
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Okay.
keep the
Yeah, yeah,
pH and the correct amount of each nutrient. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I was talking to one, of you, probably both, that I really want to go down to Texas over this Thanksgiving because we got 4 days off.
Yep.
That'd be perfect. Fly down, check some stuff out, distilleries for a couple days,
Yep.
head back up on either a Sunday or Saturday, and then have another day of rest.
Yep.
Will the distilleries be open on Thanksgiving?
Probably not.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yep.
Oh,
I
Dylan.
just don't want another July 5th.
This is what's hard about working in small businesses is you can't actually take real time off.
Well, because
I mean, I guess you did, but you can't. Everyone can't take the time off. When you all work
when is
there.
Thanksgiving? Is it
Third week of November?
so the chance would have to be
third Thursday.
they would be open on the weekend though. The distilleries would be
Right.
open. Yeah. So yeah, we could do it Saturday or Sunday or something. Maybe Friday. Friday they could be closed, but that is a chance I'm willing to take.
As long as Peter Pan mini golf is open.
Yeah, as long as mini golf.
Okay, what's so great about Peter Pan mini golf?
I mean, you just said it all.
It's
Right.
Peter Pan mini golf.
Like I've been to some magical mini golf courses.
I think it's just one of the original places down in Austin.
okay.
It's just big.
It was, like,
They have
open
nice,
in
big local
Mid
cool-
40s, so
yeah.
it's just old established. It's well
Gotcha.
known.
I think there's
Gotcha.
kind of restaurants and like a couple other like shops and stuff up and down the street next to it, aren't there? Aren't there? They're like shops kind of up and down the street next to the.
There's a McDonald's.
There's a McDonald's. Okay, I thought there was more.
No, I think there is. I mean, we didn't really explore that area very well
fancy
because we were only there for a day and a half.
Gotcha.
We didn't fully indulge in Austin. We probably spent more time at the Target there clothes shopping because the choice was we either went to a laundromat or Nick and Sam bought new clothes. Which one do you think we did? It took less time. But the last place we got to go to on Wednesday, right before we left, was the crowning achievement for me for this trip. And it was a hard decision to make because I would have loved to go to Belconis. Mm-hmm. Still do. But we went to
A place.
If there's any chance you're listening to this podcast, you'll already know them. The Feather and Fang Distillery, Crowded Barrel, the Whiskey Vault, the Whiskey Tribe. So we went to the Crowded Barrel.
You brought out the Eleanor.
I brought out a Eleanor. This is the half-baked batch 3. So I'm going to open this thing and we can talk more.
Oh, you haven't opened this yet.
Eleanor's named after Eleanor Fitzgerald. Or a generic Eleanor character.
So to my knowledge, it's real. Is a real person
that
lived, and somebody wrote a book about her. And each chapter of Eleanor that is released is a different section. Mm-hmm. At some point, they will most likely discontinue the Eleanor. I think once they stop sourcing.
Yeah.
So this is a limited. I cannot open this right now.
Use your knife.
I almost got it.
Use your teeth.
But this is Source MGP that's aged in
Dad sneeze.
All right, about cork pot.
High pitch.
It's synthetic.
You're synthetic.
Ooh, good glugs.
Glug.
Strike one.
Nice.
Just the fiddly bits on this thing is
Okay.
bits.
Strike two.
Rex,
The glugs, the fiddly bits,
And the glug glug.
I mean, look at the double-sided logo on the back. When you get it, this bottle is magnificent.
I do love how you see the face of her through the bottle, but
Your
I was expecting it to be on the
there.
back.
I was quoting for the most part.
When I turned the bottle
It
around, I
looks
expected her to
like
be
Eleanor
on the label, but it's just on the inside of the bottle, which is great.
Yeah,
Wasn't Roosevelt's wife?
I
Eleanor,
have
too?
no idea who it is.
Yeah.
I should know. For the amount I love Whiskey Vault Tribe, and I have followed their YouTube channel.
Or not Roosevelt. One of the presidents.
Okay.
I thought it was Roosevelt.
I think you're thinking of Roosevelt.
Was it?
Yeah.
Zach's on Google, so I was just hoping he'd pull it up before.
Yep.
This to me though, like this was.
That's cool.
This bottle is probably on par as far as like the amount of special it is. Not because of the whiskey inside, but like getting to go to this distillery, the amount of time I've spent watching these videos for the amount of time that I've been aware of them. It was incredible to go to the distillery, watching it be built on YouTube and experiencing it. The bartenders there were fantastic.
Yeah.
I think one was Isaac was his name. And the other gal had been on some videos and stuff, but I went in knowing full well I'm not going to get to see Rex and Daniel, which is fine. But the distillery was amazing. It was so cool. I did sign up for the Patreon the day before because you got a free flight of whiskey.
No. You've been a long time member.
I have been a long time supporter
financially.
Financially.
Whiskey Tribe / Vault.
I give them money.
So this is 117 proof or 58.55% alcohol, aged 3.5 years, bottle 216.
Do they have a out of batch number?
No.
Oh.
It's MGP. Aged in Texas a little bit, I believe. I think when they got this one, it was almost, they thought it was ready. I think that's why it's called half bake, because it only spent half the time.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know if I want a full bake. This
to me is a very special bottle,
Yeah.
not because of the whiskey, but what it represents.
Yeah. Yeah, the scent is kind of, I mean, honestly, there's not much there for sniffing on the nose. It's
It's
a
just
little
very alcohol-y.
Oh, it's
well,
good.
It's not too on the nose. You mean? Or?
I burned my nose twice.
Oh, sure.
This is our first cast strength.
Yeah. Yes. This is my favorite of the ones we've tried as far as flavor.
It's very floral.
Nice, yeah, super floral, but still gentle.
For 3 years, it's not as green as I thought it would be.
Well, 3
No.
Texas years is like, 5 to 7 years than anywhere else. No, really. I mean,
It's like dog
because
years.
of the heat.
yeah, because the heat.
Yeah.
Well, these are also. I'm not sure what the size barrel is too. They might.
Didn't
be
you
small.
say they were like smaller barrels?
Well, but they're sourced from NGP, so I'm not sure how they come. I think they came in full size. I believe they're probably just letting them stay in full size. Because, I mean, you look at the difference between the Balcones I got right here, cast strength,
Yeah.
and this cast strength. I think this one is only 2 years.
Balcones is way darker.
And I know 100% they're using 5-gallon. These probably are full-size barrels for the Eleanor. But, yeah, I mean, it definitely, the age impact or the oak impact and the temperature stuff down there definitely plays a part.
I love this one. It's just like it's like cocoa and vanilla and oak. I get all 3 of those and a little bit floral.
Oh,
Love it.
this was around $60. You
I'm
can't
honestly
buy.
kind of jealous that you have this.
I'd
I'd love to have a bottle of this.
I was
Go to Texas.
I don't think I finished my statement, but I was
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
yeah, no, we need to go and they only have a limit. They have a limit of 1,500 milliliters per person per 30 days. So I had to have Nick. I would have got more, but I already had to have Nick buy stuff for me. But it was fantastic. I got to try their current Eleanor Chapter 6 something. This one, Half Baked Batch 3. And 3 Alliance releases. One was from Still Austin. Another one was from Treaty Oak. And the other one was the Texas Whiskey Festival blend. And I actually bought the Texas Whiskey Festival blend. Half Baked and the Eleanor. I didn't even know I could buy the Eleanors. Your dad Snapchat called me down there and I showed him around a little bit. And
Give him a virtual tour.
yeah, kind of. But I didn't, at that time I told him there wasn't any available because I didn't know. And then I got him a bottle, but
So how much was this? I mean, it's a special bottle, but
I think it was only $60.
$60. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it's good.
Yeah. No, I was just asking purely for
Right.
value, and only because we always do a value comparison, just to throw it out there.
For me,
This is pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
This is, I like it. This is my favorite we've had so far.
Yeah.
And it's tied for. Was there a bottle we tried those last? How much was the with the playing card emblems on them? The
56.
single malt.
I think it was
or the-
50-ish.
Not single malt. The 2, whatever. Anyway, this is the best, and looks the coolest, and is from the place we like the most. This is my winner.
It was a wonderful experience for me.
Yeah.
Like, even if the whiskey in the bottle wasn't that great, it was so cool to be down there, a place you've watched for years, and then you finally get to go down there and experience. But yeah, I do have one other one, but I'm still trying to get. You guys need to have conversations so I can finish my whiskey.
Well, this is also your trip story.
I know.
It's kind of like how do I tell my story and drink and talk at the same time?
You don't.
We tell your story. We needed it all written down.
So Dylan hated it.
Yeah.
That trip
yeah,
was
so-
terrible.
So while he's drinking that, Dylan, he's always hated the Whiskey Vault. Like
Yeah,
Dan and Rex
Whiskey
are his
Vault,
mortal
like,
enemies.
overrated.
Suck.
He's jealous of them.
That's why
and
he
wants
started
them
this
to be-
podcast. Was he's like, I'm better than that.
Yeah, he's so much
Yeah.
better.
Not inspired.
yeah.
You know. Dylan,
I did
quickly drink the whiskey. We're making good content here.
Here, I'll pass my. I took some photos of the distillery. I'll pass around.
Oh my goodness, it's a thing.
Okay, I'll describe
So
it for you
did they
guys.
let you-
So there's a building.
Did
It
they
looks
let
like
you?
a castle.
Yeah.
I did ask. They had a loft up there in
Yeah.
the main
I was
distillery.
going to ask. Oh, okay, never mind.
No,
Continue.
go ahead and ask. I'll drink.
Did they let you look in the vault?
See, that's what I asked, and
So here's the thing. Unfortunately, I only spent 40 minutes
Right.
in doing a flight,
Yeah.
talking
Takes-
to the bartender,
bartenders
and then
and-
buying stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't that much time.
Yeah. But could you have?
I
Do
think
you
they do. I think the distillery and the school, Wizard Academy, they're separate identities. We didn't technically go to Wizard Academy, the buildings. So I think they do tours, but we didn't inquire about it at all because we were heading home immediately after this. Like, Nick and I drank. I had 5 whiskeys.
Yeah.
And then I finished mine, and then I had to drink some of Nick's because he couldn't finish it. So, and then after that, we headed out. I had to. I wasn't wasting this opportunity. But
So I think our next step is we have to do a heist of the whiskey vault. You know, have a whole movie heist. Like,
it has a vault door.
It literally has a real vault door.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I feel like to us, it's like robbing a church. You know, it's like
That's sacred.
yeah, it's a sacred.
what's
place.
wrong with that?
Good point.
But it was really cool because I got there. I should actually kind of say what happened. I got there and started talking with the bartender. Bartender's super cool. Bartenders, I should say. And I'm like, hey, I just signed up for the Patreon like last night. You know, it said you get a free flight and stuff. Like, you know, do you guys need to look my name up? We're like, oh yeah. So they started pouring, like, I'll just look up the name. So the other guy was pouring me my flight, and the gal was looking up their Patreon list. And I'm like, oh yeah, here. So they're like,
Right at the end.
Dylan Thompson.
Last person to subscribe.
so they went, you know, they're like, Dylan Thompson, you magnificent bastard.
Oh, it's so funny.
I'm like, that was
fun.
That's the
awesome.
best.
So that was super cool, you know, watching the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's awesome.
They need to have like a TV above them and do their their short cuts they do with all the animated, not the GIFs, but you know what is it?
The animation.
Just the crappily animated thrown together shorts.
Yeah, that's super
when they
weird.
say magnificent bastard, and then like an eagle comes flying out of an explosion, and then it's like bow. Very cheesy.
And then the Elijah Craig bottle
Yeah,
pops
they need
up.
that to happen. Like with a flight on the TV above
Yeah.
the bar or
And then
something.
confetti cannons need to come out of the wall and just
That's too much. It's way too much.
no,
Just
just perfect.
Your
Tone it down.
flight board has little sparklers.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what would happen.
But the coolest part was, as I was on this trip, you know, for multiple weeks, they released content, and I got super excited on one of them because about a year ago, they distilled a single malt whiskey that was 50% peated, and it was bottled while I was out there in Texas. And I saw it, and I'm like, holy crap,
You were there.
their single malt is done. They bottled it in 50 milliliter bottles, and I got to purchase said bottles. So I got one for me, and I got you two one. Sorry, Dawson.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
stupid.
you won.
I'm hurt.
But I think we should finish off with the peated malt whiskey that they made. This is, I believe, I am factual when I say this is their first actual distilled product release. The single malt of Magnificence, 54% alcohol.
That's super cool.
It's awesome. This is just aged over a year. It's using Irish peat.
See, that's what I thought was interesting is that it's Irish peat.
So they're using 5-gallon Belconis barrels. Here, I'll maybe jump to the triangle here. Zach, if you have yours.
I left it at home.
Did you
I
actually?
did, yeah. But I'll give just open if you can open these two, you can have unless you were planning on opening all three.
I don't have the other one.
Okay. Well,
Zach, I
don't
want you
I
to
don't
go
drink a lot.
home.
I'm not drinking a little bit. So
I want you to go home.
I can do that.
And I want
we
you to
can
go
pause
get
it
it.
and I can go get it.
Should we?
It's up to you guys.
That's up to you.
Did you want how many did you want to open?
So I think we should do is we should just Carter and I will split it between the four of us. And then next time the three of us will just share your bottle. I mean, let's do that. We'll try to split these evenly. So I'll fill Zach and my.
Yeah, I'll take Dawson's and mine.
So give me your Glencairn.
I'm just like, this bottle is just really cool.
Oh,
I love this bottle.
You can
They
just
had-
give me a taste.
they
I don't
had to
even need
put-
that much.
They had to put 5 different stickers on here,
I know.
applied by hand.
Yeah.
And
Well, actually,
3,000
1,
of
2,
them.
3,
Oh.
4, 5, 6.
Bottle opening.
No,
Yep.
there's
Cork
6.
pop.
Cork pop.
Wow. Ooh.
Ooh, that's actually quite a
Wow.
nice crackle.
Yeah, so, many people know us as a whiskey podcast, but second only to that, we do ASMR. That's why we do the bottle pops.
And third, DBZ coverage of the
Yeah.
entire series.
I don't want to do the whole series. I only want to do Dragon Ball. Pretty much just
Super.
just Z and GT. No, I don't want Dragon Ball.
You don't want even Super?
No.
I love Super.
Oh, it's
I like
super
it. I like it too. That's just where, like, obviously Dragon Ball crested with Z, and then dipped hard with GT. But that's my personal fan favorite because it's non-canon.
And it's weird.
Yeah. Why are we still talking about this, by the way? That was a joke that Dustin made about us being a Dragon Ball podcast.
Because Dragon Ball's great.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to whiskey.
I didn't
Ooh.
actually like
So
Thank you.
This is only a year.
pour all of mine. Did you want me to use all of it?
No,
However much you want.
I say save.
You're not getting away with that. We'll have that after the podcast.
Back off!
Keep drinking it.
I want my dad to have some.
Oh
This
yeah, we
is
should
my
save
malt
some
of
for Brian.
magnificence.
Brian needs it.
Whoa.
So
It's peaty.
overview again.
Yeah,
This
we
is a
can-
year old. 50% peated. It is Irish style peat.
So what's the difference?
It's from Ireland.
That's it.
The peat is from Ireland.
I thought it was like so special.
No, it's just from Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Every peat's going to be different.
Oh my god, it tastes like it smells like caramel. Oh, hard caramel.
Like caramel and cream
This
cheese.
This is
cream cheese
their
frosting.
first
Oh,
distilled product.
It tickles your tongue for a long time afterward. I like that.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
It's fantastic.
that's really good.
When I hear that, the woo, it just makes me. I imagine you flashing.
That is super caramel.
Oh,
Whenever-
so-and-so comes out.
Whenever Rex has something really good, he does a goat moan as of recent. He's like, gets one goat moan. This is exquisite for being 1 year old.
Yeah. Good
It
name.
even has
Good
the-
name, by the way. Magnificence.
Single malt of magnificence.
It is a different peat flavor, is
It
it
is.
not?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have. Yeah, it's not the same.
The nose is super caramel.
So, yeah, let's just try and give the listener some words here, some adjectives.
Good.
I'm going with cream cheese frosting on the taste with a little bit of caramel.
Yeah.
And
Cream cheese
then
frosting.
and then I'm going to go with
It's a little sour.
sour.
Just a small bit.
I get that.
Right in the mid palate. Like
It's a smoked frosting from a cake.
Like a pear sour.
but it's not like hard sour. It's like it's not off-putting. It's just like an interest. It just adds to it.
I feel like that's just like a dry tongue. It's not like a flavor. It's just like the evaporation effect happens, and then you're just that absence of sweetness is just gone, and you're like, whoa, sour. It's just.
So it tastes sour.
But no, it's not. You're not
so,
tasting
so
sour.
so it tastes sour.
No, because tasting sour would be sour is hitting the tongue. Something's leaving your tongue, and it makes you think you're tasting sour. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's kind of like Sour Patch Kids, but without the sour. It's Patch,
Patch
Kids.
Kids.
It's Patch Kid.
It's a Patch Kid.
Did that happen on the podcast or what?
I do want
that
to
was
save
at-
some
that
of
was at
this
the
for my
bar.
dad.
Oh, yeah, you should.
I know he'll hate it, but I'm gonna make him drink it because it's
Well,
good.
If you know he's gonna hate it, don't give it to him.
No.
I mean, I mean, if you're joking, like he might like it, then
He
yeah,
might like it.
give it to him. But if you know someone's gonna hate something, especially
This is for you, so
Yeah.
you do as you will. But I mean, this is the significance. This is their first bottled released product that they personally made.
I love
There's
it that
only 3,050 milliliter bottles.
the labels are crooked.
Oh, they're completely hand
No,
applied.
I know. I'm just saying.
I
Like,
literally watched them apply some of these.
the certified Texas whiskey is crooked, and I love it. It just gives it more.
Here's the only thing that I'm
Character?
confused about. Them, I know for a fact this is only a year old. They said it on the YouTube video.
Yep.
It is not identified anywhere that this is under 4 years old, because 4 years, you don't have to supply an age statement.
Yep.
There is no age statement that I can find on here. I don't care.
Right.
I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. But it's, yeah, I don't see it identified anywhere.
But I mean, it does have the year.
That's the bottle. That's the date
the
I
bottle
bought it.
date. Oh, it's the day you bought it?
Yeah, on the 14th of July.
Oh.
I think it's law. They have to put a sticker on
When you buy it?
Some kind of
when
date.
it's purchased.
Yeah.
Because all the bottles have it that I bought from that distillery.
I wonder who RR is.
This is amazing. RR, that might be the initial of the
Ryan Reynolds.
the name. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Roger Rabbit.
Is that Rex?
No. Have you watched any of the recent videos? They have one of a bartender. He's got a beard, and he's older, but he was in the Old Fashioned episode.
Oh, is that guy?
That guy is the guy that I was talking to. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. Good guy.
Good
Yeah, I wonder how many Texas whiskeys would be better, because, because many of them they age it quickly, but like to them, a quickly aged Texas whiskey is like 2 to 4 years, and it tastes like something that's 4 to 8 or 4 to 7 or whatever. And then, but this is as one, it's not too strong in any category. I feel like if other whiskeys or distilleries age their product for only a year, could they make it as mellow as this, but also maintain that potency?
No,
You don't think so?
I would say no. No, it's completely down to the
peat.
temperature, or not the temperature, the weather.
The weather. That's what I'm saying is if a different distillery started their regular product and we're only going to age it for a year at the same time these guys, the Fang and Feather, Crowded Barrel started this single malted magnificence, would the other distillery still be the same level of agedness? The flavors being how strong it is and the oakiness, and I guess in this one,
So if they're the same, if they would taste similar.
yeah, they would taste similar.
No, depending on where you're doing it.
Magnificence.
Let conversation's sake, let's say it's Scotland, Texas.
Yeah.
No, it'd be completely
Right.
different.
No, I'm saying they're both in Texas.
Oh,
It's
they're
two
both in
Texas
Texas.
distilleries. Like I'm thinking like Iron
they'd
Root.
be
I'm thinking like the
similar.
Iron Root we had. That was because that one's only 4 years old.
We'll taste this after. This is 2 years old.
Yeah.
And this is a rye, but
Yeah.
the temperature is,
Yeah.
it just amplifies it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like this is super duper well conceived
And it's super oaky.
and oaky.
For a year.
Yeah. For a year. So can some of these other companies make something that's a similar level? Because a lot of Texas whiskey
yes.
is super potent, like super oaky and super dark.
Right.
And I mean, I like it, but obviously too much. This is perfect. This
Yeah.
is literally magnificent.
These are 5-gallon barrels. So even, I mean, there's more surface area in the 5-gallon. So, I mean, they could upscale it to get a little bit more time out of it.
Yeah.
But for this example, yeah, I don't think they could have left it in more. They
Yeah.
knew they needed to pull it out.
Yeah.
So my question is I don't actually know if this is cast strength or not. It's 54, so it could be. But it also may not be.
It could be watered down a little bit.
But it
Who knows?
is darn good.
Only RR. Only he.
But
Randy Ruman.
so that was my trip.
That's a good trip.
That's Randy
That's
Newman. I know. It's stupid.
that was one heck of a way to cap off the trip.
Good,
So.
good trip.
Yeah. That's
That's a trip.
so
in the head.
you made like a western circle. You went west, south, east, north. Would you do an eastern trip where you went like eastbound towards like Pennsylvania and then down to Kentucky, Tennessee, and then like west to Oklahoma and then back up?
I would 100% do it.
But for Kentucky, Tennessee,
Not just for the distilleries.
Yeah.
But like, I would just drive there now to go
Yeah.
to the distilleries and check it out.
yeah,
So then camping would just make it better.
yeah,
Gotta give it a little bit of time. I like a trip that makes you wish you were home by the end of it. So, yeah. No, I would definitely do it again.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your stories, your tales. We covered cougars, We covered liquor. We covered mugging. What else did we cover? We covered
the Texas distilleries too.
Right. I was just kind of throwing that with liquor.
Dips and grips.
We covered mini golf.
Mini golf.
We talked about Dragon Ball, like
Barbecue.
for like
For
2
someone-
minutes too many.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Extraordinary Gentleman podcast. We'll see you next time
For our Dragon Ball Z oriented.
for our Dragon Ball podcast.
Making Dragon Ball cocktails.